let me say that in general, AIDS is, despite being a dramatic disease for the millions that it killed, it's also a special disease, special for different reasons. And one is indeed the sense of collaborative work that started from the beginning, and that at the end ended in friendships, in true friendships, that I tell you are very rare in other diseases, in other disease areas. The friendship that was built around HIV, around this battle, between doctors, researchers, healthcare providers, a community, patients, even the pharmaceutical industry, is unique. And IS, in a sense, the internationalists, when I joined, was a kind of natural consequence of this community relationship or community feeling that we had to work towards a common objective. So I joined the IS in 1996, I think, 1996. Then I was elected president-elect, this is how we call it, in 1998 in Geneva, and then became president in 2000. This period was really one of the most intense moments of HIV, because I was testimony of the 1996, let's say, revolution. Actually, I don't know if someone remember or someone was there, but in Vancouver, when we presented the guidelines for the triple therapy, that actually changed the world and changed the mortality of this disease. So at that moment, we also felt the difference between our patients now staying alive and others dying. So that we all became a little bit activists, the researchers, the doctors, the healthcare professionals in the North. We became activists. We started to think that this inequality between North and South of the world should be stopped. And again, this is something that never happened for the diseases, because these inequalities exist for any disease, for chronic diseases, for other infections. And so that was really a moment when we started to think that we need to make the world aware of that difference and do something. And this is why the IS at that moment decided to bring the conference in the South. That has not been easy, I tell you. In general, people remember Durban for this characteristic of being the first of a new age of conferences. The conference was really, I think, the beginning of the change, because the media had a fantastic role there. The media and the happiness of the South African people around the conference, and the media that finally was able to see what was happening in the slums of South Africa with respect to the survival, the new hopes in the North. Certainly, my presidency was affected by this access issue. That was an overarching theme of IS. AIDS is really a model to fight inequalities in health, because inequalities in health exist everywhere, from the rich countries and developing countries. It's not only AIDS, it's not only even poverty-related diseases, not only malaria and tuberculosis, but it's cancer, is cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, diseases that are now growing in the south of the world. And the way we addressed AIDS, which is multidimensional, not only science, but also community and politics and religion and economics, etc., is a way through which we could address other inequalities and go really work for a global health in a globalized world. So I think, and this model started at that time, started in the year 2000. I think there is an incredible spillover coming from the HIV/AIDS research to other areas. It's a very easy example is, for example, what's happening now for hepatitis C. You know, the new drugs that are coming after years of old drugs. We have now like 35 new direct acting agents for hepatitis, which has the same, let's say, idea of how we addressed the HIV replication. But let me say, for other diseases, for other areas, also there's been an incredible spillover effect in terms of methodologies, for example. But if we want to go beyond basic science or clinical science, even the way of doing clinical research and clinical trials has impacted on other diseases. But if you look at, for example, operational research, which is what we do today in developing countries, operational research is what we do to look at how to do things, how to apply the research results to make it a policy. So this is also something which other areas of this health will benefit. From basic science to operational research, there is a great spillover effect. The effect of the virus goes far beyond just the killing of the CD4 cells, which is a model for other diseases, actually. Now that we are hoping for a cure, because of course the cure may change a lot of things, I see a new wave of new researchers and new scientists coming. So really, if you look at the faces at the conferences, I think we should disappear, let's say, shortly in terms of it's 30 years that we are around. So I think we need to be substituted by the young, and we see them. I mean, there are a lot of young faces. So it's not the usual gang now. Now there are a generation of new guys coming. And so I think it's not over. The research on HIV/AIDS is absolutely not over.